Now, if ever there was a case of putting the cart before the horse, it happened on Saturday night. Zoe Daniel prematurely claiming the seat of Goldstein. However, despite leading by just around 2,000 votes on Sunday morning, there then was a massive surge in postals that have put Tim Wilson in front. All the major media outlets, including our Sky News analyst Tom Connell, have called it now for Tim Wilson. And I'm pleased to say the returning Liberal MP joins me right now here on the desk. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, Peter. It's a great privilege.
It's a huge win when you think that you took on an incumbent. Incumbents are not easy to beat. You were an incumbent, you were beaten though, but you were up against the might of the Teal movement, the money of the Teal movement. People said you couldn't do it. How did you do it?
Well, we need to face reality, which is we had a negative redistribution against us. We had Climate 200 pour the most money in any seat in the state, as well, or the country, I should say, as well as, of course, the statewide swing. Fundamentally, we went back to grassroots. We engaged directly with the community. We listened. We built out a grassroots movement as the foundation for our success. We brought together thousands of people, but more importantly, rather than in defeat, turning on each other, we looked to each other for mutual support. And there was no egos. There was only one focus, which is the stakes of what is required to win this seat back, and we did it together as a team.
I think what was telling too, and Liberals don't always get this right, is they pre-selected early. Like, you got the nod from the party early and you hit the ground running for a considerable period of time.
Well, we actually started the campaign well about 12 months before even the pre-selection. We started with fundraising. We built out the campaign infrastructure. The pre-selection actually followed a lot of the hard work that we had already done. But it was because we came together and we focused on the core purpose together that we achieved the result that we did, and we're immensely proud. But the other thing we did is we didn't hide. We were courageous in standing up for what we believed in, where we were trying to take the community and the country, where there were a lot of conversations, a lot of people hid. We stood up firmly, particularly on things like energy, about the importance of the role of reindustrialising Australia and continuing the conversation without any sense of timidity. We were bold, we were confident, and we stood up, and people really resonated with that.
Yeah, John Roscombe, who you used to work with, said last night you didn't lurch to the left. People think that's how you win these Teal seats. You stood on Liberal Party values. I think that's a strong endorsement from John.
It is a strong endorsement, but it's a reminder that you can't hide in politics. You've got to stand up and put a value proposition. There were people who walked up to the booths and said to me, "I'll vote for you if you trash nuclear." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to do that. I supported it last I was in Parliament. I support it now, and I'm going to continue to support it into the future." And there's a reason, because it's the foundation of how we're going to reindustrialise our country, how we're going to create the jobs and economic opportunity for your kids and grandkids, how they're going to be able to go and save and be able to buy their own homes. You've got to make the case and you've got to persuade people, but you can't do that when you're hiding, when you're just issuing a press release and thinking that's enough. You've got to stand up, you've got to be confident, and because if you don't believe in it, why would anybody else?
Leadership. Are you going to put your hand up?
I'm immensely privileged to have been in the position that I've got to. I've seen my name being bandied around, but I'm literally just focused on the task at this hand. I haven't spoken to most colleagues at this point. But obviously I'm having a conversation with lots of people about where I fit within the parliamentary party. But I want to make this clear. I didn't go back into Parliament just to sit around. I got elected because I believe that this country has a bold, ambitious, Liberal future ahead of it, but we must make the case and we must be unapologetic in making that case.
So by not ruling that out, I read that as you have an open mind.
Well, as I said, I'm making it very clear that I
can't bullshit me. You know.
No, I know, and I can't. I'm not trying to.
You've got an open mind.
Yeah, I've got an open mind about these things, but the reality is I am very much focused on how I can play part of a role as a team. Because what I want is a bold, confident Liberal Party that projects an alternative Liberal vision for this country, that builds out the policy stepping stones to get there. And that's what I'm looking from all of the leadership candidates who are putting themselves forward.
Do you think, this is the last question, I mean, given your success and how you did it, do you think if that was rolled out more broadly, we would see peak Teal?
My hope is that we've well and truly passed peak Teal, but we're not going to get there by just doing business as usual. We need to learn from the lessons of Goldstein. There'll be lessons from Kooyong and I hope from Bradfield as well, because my objective isn't to win back Goldstein, it's to roll back all of the Teals, to go back forth into those seats, because the heartland of Australian liberalism isn't geographic. It is sitting in the hearts and minds of Australians, no matter where they live. It's that spark that we must inflame about their sense of aspiration, of hope and economic opportunity for their future, for themselves, their children, their grandchildren. And if we're not bringing that alive, then we are failing them and we're failing future generations of Australians.
Powerfully said, Tim. Congratulations.